Hello, happy Talk About It Tuesday, everybody. This is Carmelita Turner, the realest realtor you know, and thank you for joining me for another segment of Talk About It Tuesday. As you know, we are going to be doing a great deal with mindset. So today on this Talk About It Tuesday, that is where we will start with mindset. Let me first start off by taking you back in history a little bit. We're going to take it back to when Donald Trump was debating Hillary Clinton. And you may remember that Hillary Clinton made a remark that is now in heavy rotation about Donald Trump. She said that she was asking us to recall when Donald Trump, tried to say that the Iowa caucus was rigged against him, that the Wisconsin primary was rigged against him, the whole Republican primary was rigged against him, that when Trump University was found guilty of fraud and racketeering, that the courts and the judges were rigged against him. And then she even pointed out that this Bama was nominated for an Emmy, I think like 2 or 3 years in a row for The Apprentice. And when he didn't win, he said that the Emmys were rigged against him, right? And at that moment, and you can go back and watch this clip, he interjects and says, "I should have won that one." Why am I bringing this up? Hillary Clinton clearly said, "This is a mindset." And trust me, baby, it is. There are people in the world, and their mindset is like, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. And let me just say, I ain't mad at it as long as it doesn't infringe on the rights of other people. Because there is some value into being very clear and resolute in your mindset. But I just wanted to bring that particular moment in time back to the frontal cortex of our brains to say it's not like this was new behavior with our current president. I want to also share with you a quote just to kind of make my first point. Confucius has a quote, and my business partner, Craig Gilbo, reminds me of this quote all the time. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. And that shows the power of our mindset. If you're constantly telling yourself that you can't do something or it's not going to happen for you, then more than likely that's how it's going to turn out. But if you are someone who says, "I should have won that Emmy," or or I'm gonna land that role. I'm gonna get this job. I'm going to start building my wealth. I'm going to own more doors. I'm going to own more dirt. If you are someone who is saying these things to yourself, that mindset becomes powerful because in your mind you're like, I know I can do these things. There is nothing stopping me from doing them. So that is an important point to remember. He who says he can and he who says he can't are usually correct. Both of them are usually correct. Let me get to my second point. There is so much research out here in the world. Deep studies, psychological studies on how to deal with irrational people. And I was like, my God, like, is it that big of an issue? And then the more I was reading the research, I was like, well, yeah, many of us deal with irrational people every damn day. At least one, actually, the research showed that at least one of us deals with an irrational person every day. I was like, oh my God, that's okay. Hey, they paid all the money for these studies. And they gave a great deal of information and steps for how to deal with irrational people. Because if someone is irrational, that basically means that they're not logical or that they are unreasonable in some way because they are fixated on making their point, or they are fixated on the point that they have in their mind being the only point of view. And that can be frustrating, very, very frustrating. However, I thought about it. I said, but you know what? In a way, that could be kind of gangster if you turn it around for your own good. So if you are someone that may have doubt in your mind about you deserving certain things or people treating you a certain way, try to turn that around like irrational people do and say, look, I deserve all good things, and believe it. I'm the finest thing since IG models, which I am. Ha! And believe it, baby. Like, really almost start becoming irrational about the love and positivity that you give to yourself, because you know what? Your brain doesn't really know the difference. It knows what you tell it. Now, let me say it's not quite as simple as that. Um, so I'll get to my third point, which is I invite you. I strongly encourage you to make a decision right now to observe, be mindful, practice mindfulness, right? Observe your thoughts, observe your patterns in your mind, and just kind of see what you're saying to yourself. What are those conversations you're having with yourself, and how do they make you feel physically? How do they make you feel spiritually, emotionally? Pay attention to those things. And then guess what? Anything that doesn't serve you, start working on just pushing that over to the side and replacing it with something good. I am worthy. I don't have to prove myself to anyone. You are not doing me a favor. I am able to create all opportunities for myself. You will not marginalize me because I bring value. Look at that. Like, when you start saying those types of powerful things to yourself, trust me, it is going to make it that much harder for people to try to come in and play you. Mindset is powerful, and it becomes your protection against people who are trying to keep you small or keep you in a box or keep you feeling anxious or depressed or not just really feeling good about yourself. The big idea that I want you to walk away from today on this Talk About It Tuesday is that your life is as good as your mindset. Make sure that you are subscribing to our channel here, Call Carmellita, ringing that notification bell. And tomorrow we are going to get into a wonderful storytime book about mindset. And why does mindset matter so much to me, the Realest Realtor? Because when you know you deserve all good things, and when you know all things are possible, that will help you also know that you have the ability to start building your wealth foundation through owning more dirt and more doors. Your life is as good as your mindset. Take care, folks.